So did anyone write down the rules for this when we started? No? Because I still maintain if we win the Europa League, we're a European superpower. Job done. This could be the last episode. Hello and welcome to part 36 of the Milan mission. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, can't you tell by the fact I'm wearing a tie? It is the Europa League final against Celta. It is apparently the first Europa League final in the history of AC Milan. So we're already making history, even if you lot are miserable and aren't going to let me call this European superpower territory. But we've already won Serie A, so we're already in Champions League next year. We've got some awesome signings already lined up for the summer. We're buying proper European superstars. We're spending an extraordinary... You think I've overspent in the past? I reckon when you see this on the next episode after this, I reckon it will be the most expensive transfer you've ever seen on Football Manager. There you go. Guess the price in the comments. Guess who I've bought for what is, without question, a world record transfer fee. Oh, it's going to be exciting. But before we get into all that, let's see if we can... win our, hopefully, final ever game in the Europa League. We're against Celta. It's the final. This is who we're playing. You should recognise this lineup by now. It's our first choice selection. The only player missing is Kurt Zuma, who's still out with a broken ankle. So this is the team that plays. Jack Butland is in goal. A back four of George, Romagnoli, Little Gomez and Makey. Bozoa and Mauri are in central midfield with Guedes, Lamar and Barbosa in behind Luan. And, it's just a good team. Oh, the only way we don't win today is if we somehow mess it up, because we must be better than whoever Celta are. Are they Spanish? I think they're probably Spanish. Is this Celta Vigo? Are they the same thing? Or have I just offended Celta Vigo fans and Celta fans? I'm going to assume they're the same club. I'm sure you lot will let me know. We are struggling just a smidge for fitness. Specifically, George is struggling already, but I didn't really want to play Lazar in a European final. I probably should have played him in the last game of the season, but he wasn't quite fit then. I don't know what he'd been up to because he hasn't played for a little while. But George got the nod at the weekend because he was slightly fitter at the time, but the weekend didn't really matter, and we probably should have played Lazar, or even moved Little Gomez out there. Just rest George because he's now struggling a bit, and if Celta have got anything about them, they'll come down that right-hand side and take advantage of that. They're in here, and the highlight stopped. I don't know what happened. I assume Makey made the challenge because he came away with the ball. But that was yes, Little Gomez! Little Gomez! He's redeemed himself! It's only Little Gomez with a goal in a European final. I told you lot not to doubt him. Little Gomez was always going to be a hero. He was lulling you all into a false sense of, oh, he's a bit of a planker. What's a planker? Who cares? He's just scored a goal in the Europa League final. And look at he's going off wings out like that. Oh, goodness me. He was the first player we wasted money on. I mean, we've spent £500 million since we signed him for 20 million quid and you all laughed. But now he's scored in the European final. Who's laughing now? I'll tell you who's laughing now. Little Gomez is laughing now. Right, hopefully we'll just hold on to this now. Compose yourselves, for goodness sake. Right, Mauri, what can he do? Finds Makey, whip that cross in, young man. He does, and Guedes, hits the crossbar. Oh, I think I'm finally getting my breath back. Oh, we're playing in Brussels, are we? There we go. Why is it only 10 degrees in Brussels in nearly June? That seems a bit weird. Right, Makey with a cross again. Finds Luan, but Luan's offside. I almost had my tie wrapped around my head and my shirt off and all sorts. I'm far too excited for a Europa League final. But you got to remember, I haven't won anything on Football Manager since Man City won the Champions League and I filmed myself driving off my driveway pretending I was in Scotland or some ridiculous thing. It was winter when I did that. Well, perhaps not winter, but it was ages ago. It's the last time we won anything, apart from Serie A, but that happened in such an anticlimactic way it doesn't feel like we won. I haven't had that rush of excitement as the players run onto the pitch and we all get giddy. We're only 1-0 up now. It's by no means going to happen today. We're having Rashford on for Luan. And then we're going to have... I want to get Benzema on as well, just for that cool head. We're going to bring him on for Guedes. And we're going to stick Rashford out wide. We'll do that, I think. I just want someone with experience of winning European competitions on the pitch. And Benzema must have won the Champions League at some point. He played for Real Madrid for years, didn't he? Did he? I'm going to assume he's got European experience of winning things. That's the only reason he's on the pitch. Just to get on there. Cool head. He's the senior pro. He's the only player in their 30s in the squad, pretty much. He's just out there to calm everybody down. Take it easy, lads. We're 1-0 up. We just need to not concede. We're better than this lot. Whatever you do, don't slip up and let them back into it. Nobody wants extra time. We've got a really important league game against Provercelli in a few days' time, and we're still only 15 points clear at the top of the league with one game to go. We don't want extra time. We can do without it. Plus, poor old Kev's recording this video. He can take his tie off once this game's over. George is really struggling now. I really should have taken him off. And look, here he is. Coming down that right-hand side, but Butland comes out to sweep things up. And we just need to not be silly. Do I go defensive at this point? Do I nimblitz? Of course I'm not going defensive. Right, Lamar finds Benzema. Benzema out wide to Barbosa. Barbosa finds Makey. Karim Benzema. There you go. That's why we spent 30 million quid on him. He was never going to play every game, but he's scored an incredibly important goal in the Europa League final. And, you know, we brought him on for his cool head and his experience. And there you go. Doink. It's only his 8th goal of the season. He's barely started any games. But he doesn't care. He's just got another medal for his trophy cabinet. Why'd you keep medals in a trophy cabinet, Karen? Why don't you keep them in a medal box? No one knows. He's extravagant. Whew. Who cares? They've got the ball. They're not going to score twice. Let them have it. Let them have one. Let them have their moment in the sun. I think we've just won the first Europa League in the history of AC Milan. It's not the AC's the football club bit, isn't it? Well, we've won the Europa League. Yay! There you go. Qualified for the Champions League 2 different ways this year. That makes up for not qualifying at all last year. So when I'm writing my CV, I'll say, 3 seasons in management or 4? I think it's 3 seasons. What year is it? 4 seasons in management, qualified for the Champions League 4 times. There you go, Arsene Wenger. I can do 100% records too. And we better not show you any of this just in case it shows you the signings that we've got coming in the summer. Right, we'll go and play Provercelli because you're itching to see that, I'm sure. Then we'll do a bit of a review of the season. I'm keeping the tie on. I feel comfortable now. So, our final game of the best season we've had in this save so far. It's been awesome. And we're going to use it. There's a bit of rotation and probably a few goodbyes in here as well. Ignacio Camacho, who is a former captain of the club, has already got a transfer arranged. He's on his way out. He is going to Real Sociedad. £6 million for getting for him. We've lost money on him, but he came in at a very important time, was captain. Thank you very much, Ignacio Camacho. I imagine Big Gomez is probably on his way out as well. He's on the transfer list. He wants to leave, so it's probably going to be the last we see of Big Gomez, who was an incredibly important player for those first few seasons. Look at that. Played a lot of games in the first 2 years at the club. Most recently, since Kurt Zouma signed, really, he's obviously not got a look in. But he was important when he was important. There you go. We'll leave it like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if we lost one of Bonaventura and Aoze. We probably won't sell them both because a player that we've got coming in can sort of play in all these positions, similar to the way Luan and Barbosa and Rashford and all them can. It's that kind of player again. So we'll probably get rid of one of those two. They might even end up both going. Who knows? But this is the team we're playing. You all get to see Donnarumma in goal and get all excited about him down in the comments. And I get to see Ceballos as a deep line playmaker to see if he can do it for a whole game. Also, as soon as we start the match, we're going to swap the instructions over on our wide players. Gonçalo Guedes, whose name, I don't know why I say it like that, but he's the only one of our awesome foursome. The awesome foursome. I love it. He's the only one of the 4 who doesn't have 20 goals yet this season. He's on 14. So the chances of him getting 6 are fairly slim, but we've swapped him over to the right wing just to see if that makes any difference. So we just need to make Bonaventura an inside forward. That's the only reason Guedes is playing. Otherwise, I'd probably have Rashford in. Lamar's in the team because he's in the running for Player of the Season. So I just want to give him the opportunity to go out there against the team 20th in the league, who are already long since relegated, and just hopefully get a spectacular last performance of the season, and try and win himself Player of the Season. Not just our Player of the Season, Serie A Player of the Season, because he has been awesome. He was one of the last players to join the squad in the summer, if I remember. I think if I recall correctly, he appeared after we'd already signed Luan, and at that point I wished I hadn't signed Luan because I expected them both to want to play in the same place. I don't think Luan's played in behind the front player even once all season. He's either been out wide most of the time up front, and Lamar usually plays in that spot in the hole where he's got like 25 goals, and occasionally plays out on the wing. So they were completely different players in the end. The only one who didn't really fit was Rashford, who I think I spent more on than anyone else, because it's how we roll. We're 1-0 up, by the way. Bonaventura, that could well be his last goal for AC Milan. And how important are his goals from that inside forward position been over the last 4 years? He's scored a lot of goals from out there. He must be close to 50 goals during this save, Bonaventura, from that left wing, which is no mean feat when you consider certainly this season he's been far from a first choice. And even before then, he wasn't a guaranteed starter week in, week out, which when you consider how many goals he scored and how hard goals were for us to come by for a little while there, why wasn't he always playing? Romagnoli forces a good save out the keeper. Big Gomez trying to get in there and get his goodbye goal as well. Here's a question for you down in the comments. Assuming Big Gomez does leave, does Little Gomez keep the nickname Little Gomez, even though he'll be the only Gomez at the club, or do we let him have his real name back? Let me know down in the comments. I know my thoughts on it. You know my thoughts on it. But if you don't want to see him as Little Gomez anymore, if you are Joe Gomez and you're watching this, and you'd rather see me saying your real name, then let me know down in the comments. I'm eager to hear from Joe Gomez. Anyone who's late to the series now knows who Little Gomez is. Did you know it was Joe Gomez? Provercelli have just scored a goal at the San Siro. Donnarumma's not very good. I don't know why you get all giddy about him. I mean, his positioning there is atrocious. At no point does he attempt to get over to save wherever the shot from wherever that cross is ending up. At no point does he try to get in to stop the cross. He just sort of stands at the near post watching the cross go past him. There's probably something going on behind me. Never mind, keep watching where the ball came from. I'll be right, and then obviously we can see the goal. He worries me because I don't know. For a kid, he's still only 20 years old, I think. For a 20-year-old goalkeeper, he has had a lot of games over the last 4 years. He's had 60, 70 games for us. He was first choice for a full season. You'd think 60 to 70 games for an under-21 goalkeeper in the top flight for a team that's consistently challenging for Champions League. He's played Champions League, he's played Europa League. You'd think that would be enough for him to go on and fulfil his potential. He shouldn't have to play week in, week out, every week from the age of 16 onwards. Because when you think of how we develop regens in this game, I don't know about you, but I don't play players week in, week out from the moment they turn 16 if they look like they might be good one day. They get good, then they get in the team. Donnarumma doesn't seem to be doing that. You lot are all telling me I need to play him or loan him out to get him game time. He's getting game time for us. For a teenage goalkeeper, he's getting plenty of game time. But he's not improving, and it's a worry. So I guess I'm just doing him wrong. Right, let's get Jose off, get him a goodbye round of applause. Let's have Rashford on. Hopefully he'll nab himself a little goal. Ceballos proving he can't play as a deep line playmaker. We'll get Danilo on because he's not played too many games. Look, here's my point about Donnarumma. 20 years old, he's played international football. He's only 2.5 star current ability still. His potential's dropped down to 3.5 star. That might not be a drop though. That might be the massive increase in the stature of the club over the last 4 years. He might not have lost any potential, but even still, there you go. He's played 50 games for the AC Milan first team. And they're league games, aren't they? So if you add in the cup, if you add in the cup as well, he played 47 games in total last year. Yeah, he is getting on because most of his games this year have probably been in the cup. And last year, I imagine. He's getting on for 60 or 70 games before his 21st birthday. and he's still only that good. He's still a wonder kid, apparently. But, I don't know. He's no Jack Butland. And Jack Butland's not a world beater, is he? I think it's still our weak point in our squad, despite spending £35 million on Butland last summer. Obviously, it's not going to be the area I strengthen, because you lot will crucify me if I go and sign a world-class goalkeeper, because we've got to wait for Donnarumma. We're waiting. Don't worry. He's not got long, though. If we go and win the Champions League next year, that's it. Series over. We're not faffing about. I mean, look! What did he do there? Watch this in 3D. Tell me I should have been playing him week in and week out all season. We wouldn't have won the league if I had. Look at this. Comes back off the crossbar and then hits him, on the buttock? And then they took it away. Yeah, you put your hands on your head. Yeah, I don't know. Right, who are we going to bring on? Let's bring Bertolacci on. Let's have another goodbye. He might well be leaving as well. Well, I'd quite like to keep him around as a squad player, because he never lets us down when he gets into the team. He's certainly not spectacular enough to be one of our attacking players, and he's not solid enough defensively to be in there as a ball winner with the spectacular ones around him. But he's a solid sort of top 4 player. He's just not a Champions League winner, I don't think. So he might be on his way. If he is, say bye-bye to him as well. I've done all my... Assuming we sell no one, I've done all my incoming transfer business, which you'll find out about in the next episode. And it's only 3 players at the moment. There might be more if we sell. It depends who we're forced to sell. And we'll just sell whoever decides they want to leave. I can't show you any of the news because I don't want any transfer stuff to appear on there. That's all a secret at the moment. So we'll have a quick look through, bit of a review of the season. You know how this goes by now. So firstly, we're going to sort it by goals, because this has been the biggest difference maker of our team this year. If you remember this time, who is Luca Vido, by the way? He's got a few goals, hasn't he? Oh, he's 22. He's past it already. I mean, he's been out on loan every year. Forget him. But this was the big problem with our team last year when we did this exact same thing. We didn't have anyone over 20 goals. And we didn't have anyone supporting at a decent kind of level either. Whereas this year, we've got Thomas Lemar, 23 goals from midfield. We've got Luan, 22 goals. We've got Barbosa, 21 goals. Guedes, 21 goals. And then Rashford, Benzema, weighing in with 8 each. You've still got Bonaventura in there on 5. Kurt Zuma's got 5. No, 3. As has Romagnoli, both of them probably getting up from corners. There's lots of goals in this team now, and it's awesome. I need to plug my charger in because my laptop's about to die. There you go. That's how you stop a laptop turning itself off. You plug the charger in. Tech support from Kev. Average rating wise, and it's very clear who the player of the season is by an absolute country mile. Thomas Lemar. He's averaged an 8.26. This man can play pretty much anywhere on the pitch. He's valued at £54 million. He's 4.5-star current ability. He's only 23. By whatever reckoning you want, he is a world-class player, and he plays for AC Milan, and he's got 10 years in him yet. Yes, we paid £51 million for him. Yes, you probably all thought it was too much. Monaco only signed him for 2.9 3 years before, but we've got a proper world beater there, and he's only going to get better. He's only 23. Look, he relishes big matches. He's quick. He's got good acceleration. Recent performance is nothing short of sensational. He's ambitious. He's world class. He's consistent. He can play in loads of different positions. There's nothing wrong with him. He is the perfect attacking footballer. I signed him because I'm that good. Makey and George, obviously, I mean, they're the unsung heroes, although I sing about them a lot, but they're so important as our 2 flying Brazilian fullbacks. Guedes, Barbosa and Luan, we all knew they would be there or thereabouts. Lazar, showing how easy it is to get a good rating when you're a fullback in FM. And then you've got Zuma, Little Gomez. A little bit disappointed that the central midfield wonder kids are a little bit further down. Mauri, Danilo, Bazoa all the way down here. Rashford struggling to adapt to life in Italy, but he'll get there. He's still young. It's just a good team. Finance-wise, are we safe looking at this? We've got a £200 million transfer that's got to come out of that yet. Shh! Don't tell anyone. You'll find out about that tomorrow. And that's your lot. There you go. We've won the league and we've won the Europa League. If that's not enough for 200 likes, I don't know what is. You know what to do. And that is, because I've got to do my normal outro and my ears will bleed. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching. £200 million transfer. I'm serious. Come back tomorrow.